jumped out of it. Special Forces, the finest soldiers in the world. You were captain at that time. He gave me a picture later when he'd risen in rank. He said, "To my trusted friend, Jack Brinkley, thank you for the ride." And I have that hanging up. Well, then you have heard of my recent marriage, and it is true, Sally. Would you stand and let everybody admire you as much as I do? I'm a member of the Muskogee Civitan Club, and Sally often goes with me to the functions. And one time I told the group that Sally had referred to me as looking a lot like her second husband. And I said, "Sally, how many?" She looked at me. I said, "Sally, how many husbands have you had?" And she said, "One." And sure enough, it has come to pass. A friend of mine named Ron Crosby called me up on the telephone. He said, "Brinkley, there's three things you've got to remember: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the supper ring." Supper ring. So far, we made it just fine. Sally's mother was named Maddie. And Maddie would greet people like this distinguished group as follows: greetings and salutations, and other expressions of great joy. And so it is with that sense that I've come here to speak for a few minutes and to let you know how things are in Columbus. They're good so far. A new beatitude: blessed the brief, for they shall be re-invited. Our allocation of time is brief, and that's as it should be, because that way we can go into Gwinnett Cheek and to Willie Smith, who has something important to say. Gwinnett Cheek came to Washington one time with the Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, and here she is, back again to be with us. Back when we were growing up, we didn't have forced air heat in Midtown. We didn't have forced air heat in Faceville. In the wintertime, it got cold. We went to the Baptist and Methodist churches, though, and they told us about manna from heaven. We believed in manna from heaven. Hebrew children were fed on a daily basis. You didn't have to gather it up and accumulate it. It was just every day the manna from heaven came. And as I grew older, I came to realize that the manna can be symbolic of many things in Bedstown and Faceville, because it was cold in winter and we didn't have forced air heat. And we went out, my sisters and I, we went out in the woods in front of our house with hampers and picked up lighter knots. You know what lighter knots are? You know what lighter knots are. They burn good, James, you know. Anyway, that was manna from heaven for us. Then I went on to become a candidate for public office successfully. And Jack Wingate, he wrote a column, Roundabout Faceville. And he said he felt a little bit better about the people in Washington because I was there. He knew that I was a man who had the mud of Rogers Pond once between my toes. Y'all remember Rogers Pond? It used to be lily pads, you could fish there, auspice, I know you do. Anyway, it was a wonderful chapter in our lives, and it's good to be together again with the bonds of fellowship and to remember those happy times. When I went to the House of Representatives, the great hall of the Congress, the Republicans would sit on the left of the speaker, and the Democrats would sit on the right.
Amen.
Straight out the corridor, above the corridor was a portrait, a relief portrait of Moses and the other great lawgivers of history above the galleries. And just in front of the relief portrait of Moses, embedded in the ceiling, all around the ceiling, were seals of 50 states of the Union. Georgia's was right near Moses. And Georgia's seal has wisdom, justice, and moderation. And you know, I tried to remember that, and I tried to answer my mail, and to remember my slogan, who I am, where I'm from, and who sent me. I think Benjamin Franklin gave us head start on that. But Devon Brinkley helped me with that slogan to remember who you are and where you are from and who sent you. If you do that, you can be elected to public office for as long as you choose. You go from that card into the great rotunda of the House of Representatives of the Congress. And right off the great rotunda, this little chapel, a little prayer room. And I would go there often. There's a doorkeeper there, an older man. And now maybe he wasn't all that old. But anyway, he was old at the time. And he would sit outside. He wouldn't go in with you. But one time I took a delegation from Warner Robins into the chapel prayer room. And we noticed the stained glass window of George Washington. The words in the Bible, "Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust." And the 13 original colonies around it, and then the balance of the states. And I was explaining about this chapel to my constituents, Warner Robins. And I lamented, I said, well, you know, unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem to be used all that much. The doorkeeper, he used the merchant's rule. You know, the merchant's rule is the customer is always right. Well, he knew the congressional rule, the congressman is always right. You don't dispute his word. But he did. From the back of the room, he raised his hand. He said, "Oh, you're wrong, Congressman." He said, "It's used a lot." He said, "Look at the path in the carpet." And sure enough, I looked and there was a path in the carpet. And I knew, or should have known, that men everywhere, whether in Washington or in Timbuktu or in Faceville, we search for the common ground of eternity and of God. Later on, I went back to that chapel and there was no path. I called the architect of the chapel, architect of the capitol, who is in charge of it, thinking that, you know, your member can play tricks on it. Was there really a path there? He said there was. He said the carpet had just been changed. So that was reassuring to me. But the path and the carpet, James Oliver can vouch for the fact that the path and the carpet is the path that we can take in our lives, because this is the path that all men search for. A good chapter. I was 16 years in Washington, and on the radio the other day they said, "How long were you in Washington, Brinkley?" I said, 16 good years. They said, "Yeah, but how long were you there?" They were all good years. When I came home, I was reminded of General Lee after he surrendered Appomattox. General Lee was given an escort to take him to his home in Virginia because they thought that marauding soldiers might hurt him. But after a while, the soldiers witnessed the fact that the defeated Confederate soldiers would offer him food, cheer him on. The story goes that finally General Lee turned to the captain in charge of the escort and said, "Thank you for your services, but you can return to your unit now. Because as you can see, I am in my own country and among friends." And I say today that I came home to Columbus and to Decatur County to be in my own country and among friends. As witness to that. One important distinction with which I will leave you. In Washington, I felt that I was in my own country and among friends there too. Sometimes those who are more notorious get more attention. But by and large, the men and women who serve us in Washington have the interest first of the country and of their own constituencies. And so naturally, the Bella Absas of New York do not agree with the Jack Brinkleys of Georgia. By and large, you will find the men and women search for the path that we search for and wish to serve the people in the country that we all love. So, in conclusion, with the words of Virgil, "Dear Faceville, as long as rivers run down to the sea, or shadows touch the mountaintops, or stars graze in the vaults of heaven, so long, Faceville, will you be in our hearts and in our minds, and we will honor you, Faceville, till we find the path to heaven."
back. And y'all believe it or not, he stayed within his time limit.